What's up, gamers? Battlefield 2042's April update, also known as Update 4.0, will drop tomorrow, April 19th. As the time is not yet confirmed yet, I will put that in the description when we know when it is. This update has got many fixes in it, and the patch notes have just dropped today, so I'm going to go over those for you now in this video. So let's head over there now. Obviously I'll post the link for you guys to read it yourselves. Let's get into it. Alright gamers, initially for this video my plan was to just scroll through this and read it all out for you guys and share my thoughts on it. I did that and it was 50 minutes long, so yeah, big thumbs down for that. Let's instead go with the plan B to go over the key points. I have read through the whole article obviously, so I've got many of the key points here and we're just going to scroll through them now. So obviously we've got this intro part here where they talk about update 4.0 being available as of tomorrow. And yeah, let's get into it. So voice over IP is the first big point. Obviously we knew this was coming, but they've said there are two voice chat channels to choose between, party and squad. Hopefully these are kind of interchangeable in some way on the fly. That'll be quite handy for those who want to play as part of a larger unit, you know, clans and such. And then we got the scoreboard. Obviously they released the scoreboard before, but following this update, the end of round scoreboard will be available. Weapon attachments is the next part. They got a little bit here. If we scroll further down the article, we can see this in more detail. So here we go. So the behaviour of many weapon attachments has been overhauled to ensure that their impact when customising your weapons is unique and noticeable. Previously, some attachments had effects that were too similar from others, and it was unclear what the impact on your weapons would be when switching between them. So they've got an example here of the updated behaviour compared with the previous ones for these specific attachments here. So for example, the Warhawk compensator. In the past, it improved horizontal recoil control and reduced vertical recoil control. Now, it improves recoil control and reduces weapon accuracy. The light grip, that's B there on the diagram, it used to improve accuracy while moving and reduced accuracy while static. Now, it increases hipfire accuracy and reduces accuracy while aiming down sights. The hybrid sight, now it's got the aim down sight speed decreased in 4.0 and the zoom levels and optic toggle remains as before. And then D, the subsonic rounds, they've reduced the base recoil, they've reduced the muzzle flash visibility, and they've decreased projectile velocity. There's a lot of further changes there that we could go through, but again, we'll save that for another time. They have adjusted the ribbons if we go up to this bit here. Where is it? Ribbons, ribbons, ribbons. Where is the ribbons part? I believe this is it here. Yes, here we go. So adjusted ribbons to make them easier to unlock across all modes, especially in Rush. The further adjustments to specific ribbons, so logistics, progress earned from repairing friendly vehicles increased, and the progress earned from healing and resupplying decreased. Objective, kills and assists while fighting for objectives in Breakthrough, now also good progress. Intel, the progress for hitting enemy vehicles with EMPs has been doubled. I'm going to be getting a lot of Intel ribbons now. Combat, destroying an enemy ranger now rewards ribbon progress. Combat and Wingman, kills and assists on enemy players in Hazard Zone now give increased progress. The Mastery for the Super Hind and the Condor and the MAV now get progress as intended when teammates spawn in on your vehicle. So you get points towards your upgrades for that, meaning most people can now actually upgrade those vehicles. And the cosmetics and weapon attachments are now correctly marked as new when unlocked. And then they've changed a bunch of XP for support actions. And XP for objective actions has also been decreased to compensate. So for example, projectile destroyed with Irish's shoot down sentinel has gone from 5 to 10. Enemy disrupted with VMP from 10 to 20. Equipment destroyed from 5 to 10. Healing from 5 to 20. Same for resupply, same for repairing. Ranger destroyed from 25 to 75. What an increase that is. Objective neutralized, 250 down to 200. Objective captured, 375 down to 200. And sector/objective defended from 15 down to 10. They've added an XP event for killing a downed enemy in hazard zone. And repairing a ranger now correctly triggers the repairing XP event. Now, I didn't even know you could repair the ranger, so there you go. So that's that one. And then obviously there's those progression unlocks being changed there. And then there's a bunch of changes to the specialists. Obviously there'll be larger changes coming later, but there's just a few I wanted to go over today. And that was the Rao and Pike traits being adjusted. If we scroll down to the specialists down here. Where are they? Here we are. So Rao's cyber warfare suite should now feel more responsive. I presume that means it now works a lot quicker. And they've resolved bugs related to using the cyber warfare suite ability without an active target. And now they've replaced the Trojan network with the threat perception trait. So that means when Rao takes damage from enemy fire, he will automatically spot the enemy for himself. And so that has actually come from Pike. So they've replaced threat perception on Pike with eagle-eyed, which means players damaged by Pike are now spotted for everybody. So that kind of links into our other ability a lot more. And they've updated her mastery criteria to align with the new trait. So there's a lot of stuff for other ones. Unfortunately, the OVP recon drone can still use C4. Bit of a shame there, but that's that. We should also mention that Sundance's anti-armor grenades, they lock onto targets a lot more effectively now. They've gone into details here about how they go about doing that. We won't go over all of that in detail. But also, interestingly, the scatter grenade detonation timings have been adjusted to let them explode quicker. Landing on rough terrain no longer causes Sundance to bounce up in the air. And they fixed a rare issue where Sundance's body could become detached from a vehicle upon re-entry. So it makes her become invisible. And it's worth noting they also made the sound of her wingsuit a bit more audible so you can hear her approach it a little bit easier. If she's coming up behind you, you get a little warning. And obviously there are tons and tons more changes, gadgets, user interface. We've gone over the weapon attachments, map changes, the vehicle changes we could kind of go over a little bit. So on breakthrough, you can see Sector 1, the attackers now get less vehicles. So it's gone from 17 down to 13. Does it say attackers? Oh no, it's just in general. So you actually have a limit on the amount of vehicles you can spawn before you run out, it seems. So Sector 1, 17 down to 13, so you get less. Sector 2, 18 down to 17. And Sector 3 from 19 down to 17. Very interesting. Most of these fixes are just little bits and pieces here, so we won't bother with those. Again, you can read all this. I've linked this article in the description. But there's a bunch of changes to the specific vehicles here. None of them that amazing, except for the hovercraft can no longer fly and climb up walls. Bit of a shame, seeing as it's quite fun. I'm actually going to go and record some clips of that happening, just so that I've got some, B-roll footage there. And on the Bolt, they've changed a few issues. The primary one I'm kind of thinking it's good is the ability to shoot passengers more easily. But also they've changed the missile launcher system and they've made the time to live go from 10 to 3.2, so it's a lot quicker. Engine strength 175 down to 70. I presume they've adjusted the... I don't know what they're talking about there with the engine strength. I presume that means the Bolt is easier to damage, but again, the damage has gone down from 70 to 45 there. Bunch of things changed with the 50mm cannon on the Condor. And then the other notable thing is the heat shell on the T-28. They've increased the damage, they say by 90 up to 115. I think what they mean is they've increased it from 90 to 115. and the replenish time per shell's just been increased ever so slightly from 6 to 6.8 seconds. So after reading that, what do I think of this update? I think it looks like a very, very, very solid update, guys. Lots of changes in there to make it better. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, the Season 1, what those map changes really do, as I mentioned in the previous video. But a lot of these weapon changes look like they're going to refresh combat quite a bit. The vehicle rebalancing looks like it's been well thought out. We'll have to see how that plays out on the battlefield, but it looks good, guys. And obviously all the bug fixes and everything as well. I'm looking forward to jump on the battlefield tomorrow and give it all a try. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I always enjoy reading and responding to all your comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.